Hi, we are Group 26. We're Ajara, Guji, Cyprian, and Rosemary, and today we'll be talking about our project, Dora. Before starting the project, we all felt strongly about finding a charity to work with. As students, we primarily help charities by volunteering our time and donating our unwanted belongings. Upon doing some further research, we learned that around 60,000 tons of secondhand clothing is sent to Ghana, while Kenya receives around 100,000 tons a year. And this piqued our interest in how the whole donation process works.
In fact, according to Oxfam, more than 70% of the clothes donated globally end up in Africa. Through our research, we came across this charity called Change One's Life and decided to contact them. From the first meeting, we were completely inspired and in awe of the amazing projects and support they provide to communities in sub-Saharan Africa. At the moment, they work in 5 provinces in Angola, 4 in Namibia, 1 in Mozambique, and 1 in South Africa. Having started off distributing donations collected in the UK, the charity has now grown into a major organization in Angola, organizing various events and projects to improve the quality of life of those stuck in the vicious cycle of poverty. Despite the many different inspiring projects they have now embarked on, Change One's Life is still committed to distributing much needed donations across the provinces they work in.
Last year, Change One's Life shipped approximately 50 tons of donations to Angola, most of which came from big companies such as Puma and Nike. It is estimated that Change One's Life has directly contributed to improving the lives of over 1.5 million beneficiaries. We hope that you can see, just as clearly as us, what a major impact this charity provides and why we felt so strongly to help them and support them in their fight against systemic poverty in sub-Saharan countries.
Now, we would like to introduce the passionate founder behind all of this, Admilson Angelo. After coming across the harrowing sight of a child dying in their mother's arm, he started a charity in 2014 and has now grown to a team of 15 official members and many more volunteers in the UK and abroad.
With so many donations coming from numerous companies and individuals, every time a container arrives, Edmilson and the volunteers spend on average 2 to 4 weeks to unpack and sort their boxes in the warehouse. Since they don't know the contents of the boxes, they have to go through a process of using paper forms to count the items and individually sort them. Once all the paper forms are collected, Edmilson has to manually type everything up into an Excel spreadsheet, which can take hours and is highly error-prone. He and the volunteers have to do this process over and over again. Edmilson stated that one of the things he wishes for most is more time. He said there's just not enough time to do all the things in the charity.
Edmilson also finds it extremely important to maintain strong connections with the donors by sending regular reports with photos to them so that they will continue supporting the charity. Let's hear what he says.
I understand the power of the photos, and I think this has been one of our biggest resources in terms of communicating, because one thing is you get an email saying that you got a donation. Other thing is you actually seeing your stuff being given, seeing how people were happy with your stuff.
But for Edmilson, managing emails and making these reports take at least 5 hours a day. We understand the importance of donations for people in need, and we want the charity to help as many people as they can, so we want to improve the efficiency of this whole process. We would like to free up time for Change One's Life to help them deal with donations quicker, to focus on more significant tasks and create a bigger impact.
So, how might we automate part of the donation process and reduce the amount of repetitive manual labor? We've come up with a solution, Dora. But why Dora, you ask? We chose Dora because of its resemblance to the Portuguese word for donor, doar. Our website acts like a helper to organize and manage donations. We know that donors are aware of what they're donating to the charity. So we thought, why not take advantage of that? With Dora, we asked donors for information and we provide it to the charity through an easily navigable user interface. This will immensely help the charity with managing donations more efficiently and will make their lives easier.
Now, let's walk through our solution. First, meet Tiger, a potential donor who works at a corporation that wishes to donate tablets to children in Angola through Change One's Life. His workday is very hectic, so he prefers to be efficient in every task he takes on and wants to make sure his donations make a real impact. Previously, Tiger had to call or send an email to the charity to inquire about donating. Once Atmilson received the initial inquiry, they exchanged 5 to 10 emails to ensure donations can be delivered to the UK warehouse. During busy seasons, Amilson and his team could spend up to 13 hours a day responding to calls and emails from different donors on an individual basis.
Now, Tiger can use our platform to learn how the donation process works and enter in his donations. We made this journey welcoming and informative without having to wait for a response from the charity. So first, he types in his name and email address so that eventually down the line he can receive updates to his email on where the donation is and eventually receive photos of the donations being handed out to communities. So now we choose what we want to donate. Let's say some tablets. We'll donate 10 tablets and we add these to our basket. And say we want to donate some more items. So let's say we'll donate some computers, maybe 2 computers. And again, we add these to the basket. Once we're happy with the items, we press I'm ready to donate, and this takes us to the final page. As you can see, the donor journey is simple and intuitive and allows the donor to donate as many and as varied items as they want, and as often as they want. Upon reaching the final page, Tiger has to either print the QR code or write the identifier on the box and mail it to the charity. This process alone saves the charity hours of time and provides the donor all the information they need, easily accessible, without having to locate and scroll through their emails.
Now let's imagine that Tiger's box has reached the UK warehouse. Before, Edmondson and his volunteers had to open each box and do a rough counting of the donations received for customs. Then he took a picture of the boxes and sent a confirmation email to Tiger and all the other donors that sent their boxes. Yeah. But now what he can do is he can log in as a volunteer right here. So he's already logged in, but I'll show you how to log in again. He can log in here. Then he can press scan box. If I had a box here with a QR code, I could scan it, but I have the code from the previous donation. And then we get the information about the 10 tablets and 2 computers. And we get an email that says, Dear Tiger Cross, we're happy to let you know that your box has arrived in our UK warehouse because I scanned it in the UK. And once the box is ready to be shipped to Angola, I can press send to Angola. And then we're just waiting for another email from us that says that your box is on its way to Angola.
Once Change One's Life has collected enough donations, they pack the boxes into an 18-foot container. It is then shipped to Angola. Before, when the team received the container in Angola, they would unpack the boxes, count, and sort the donation. With this sorting procedure, the charity sometimes spent as much as 4 weeks just sorting donations. Now, the team simply arranges the boxes on the shelf according to the letter in the identifier and scans each box to confirm it has been received. We estimate this process will now take less than a day.
Change One's Life distributes their donations to different communities holding various events. For example, today they are celebrating African Children's Day for 200 children and their parents.
Yeah, African Children's Day. So, yeah, we are preparing the toys. Yeah, so this is where everything is working.
Preparation for this event was undertaken by 8 to 10 volunteers, taking them 2 weeks. But now, planning and preparing for such events can be faster and require less manpower. With our search feature, Amilson can locate the desired items immediately, let's say school bags. We also make sure to include filters to search with different properties. For example, if they're hosting an event specifically for Mercedes, they enter Mercedes here. But for our demonstration, let's use Tiger's donations. Now, we can click on a search result to get the details about which box this item is in. For example, the location and the warehouse. If Admilson decides to take 2 tablets, he enters 2, the community, the event name, puts a comment, and clicks take. Admilson's action is recorded, and in here, we can see who has done what actions to the box for future reference. For example, Admilson take the 2 tablets.
Before, once Tiger's donations had been distributed at an event, Edmondson had to go to the office, select the pictures from the event, and send him an individual gratitude email. This process would be repeated for all the major donors, and individuals are unlikely to receive pictures, as their donation process was often lost in the sorting and counting. But now he can use the Send Photos to Donor feature. He can take a picture on site, like so, and if he's happy with the picture, we press confirm, or we can upload images from our library. Now, when we're happy with the pictures we've chosen, we press confirm, and then we get presented with the list of projects that have been taken in the last few days and weeks. We chose the most recent event, and here we have the template of the email. We can add minor edits as we wish, and when we're happy with the email, Edmondson can simply press send to donors, and an email will be sent to all the donors whose donations had been given out at this project or event. Now we can check the email and see that the pictures are attached and have been sent to Tiger.
Now we would like to play you an audio clip of Edmondson talking about storage.
Because it's all so manual, it's very hard. Like if you ask me now how many t-shirts we have of a certain brand, nobody would know. We have to go in again and count.
So finally, we've made this feature where you can press display storage and look at the storage contents based on their location statuses. So let's say posted. So these are all the items that are going to the UK warehouse. And then these are all the items that are in the UK and posted. You can look at the info button, which explains everything. And they can also download this content as a spreadsheet to see what has been posted and in the UK on this exact date.
You remember Tiger? He's actually a philanthropy lead at Microsoft. We asked him for some feedback during the development of our app, and let's hear what he said.
As sort of philanthropy lead for Microsoft, I think, first of all, this user journey was really simple and easy, and something I definitely use again. When I came to looking about ways we would distribute things that we bought using the money we fundraised from philanthropy projects, there were several sort of avenues that we were considering, one of which was reaching out to local schools and helping underprivileged families there. However, using your guys' app was just much easier and simple, because obviously.
As he raised money with other Microsoft employees, he has kindly offered to donate tablets on behalf of Microsoft and be our first test user. But let's now talk about frameworks and technology we used. Rose, do you maybe want to talk a bit more about that?
Sure. First of all, we understand our users will be using the website on different devices. That's why we decided to make our website a progressive web app so that it can be easily used on any platform. Our users, donors, and volunteers access the website through HTTPS as such features like taking photos and accessing the location require a secure connection. We deployed our front-end and back-end on Heroku, as it provides an easy-to-use command line interface to help us manage and control our application on it.
We decided to write our front end with React because it provides a stateful component-based structure that enables reusability and composing bigger components from smaller ones. It gave us access to many libraries, for example, QR Reader for scanning boxes. Our front end communicates with the back end by GET, POST, and PUT requests that enable sending data back and forth. Moreover, we use JWT authentication in the headers of these requests to ensure only authorized members access the data. Our backend is written in Python with the microweb framework Flask. We chose Flask because of its extensive library choice and ease of use. For example, we use the Flask mail extension to set up SMTP with our application for sending emails to donors. We also use the SQL Alchemy library to communicate with our Postgres database. This library mapped our tables into Python classes and converted function calls to SQL statements, which made it a lot more convenient to query data from the database.
So, what went well? We've established a very good relationship with the charity. We got in contact with very kind members, and it was a pleasure to interview them. It was very motivating to hear their criticism and encouragement as we progressed through the milestones. We've also received constructive feedback from the various test users. So 18 out of 22 donor test users that we've had found the process of donating simple and intuitive. We've also updated our app according to the feedback. For example, we had this reload button in display storage, but Edmilson showed confusion using it. So we enabled auto reloading whenever he presses a certain button on the location status. And we've also added these information buttons on these pages because some part-time volunteers who were testing our app did not understand the features.
Looking back, we could have improved the progression of our project by setting internal deadlines to review each other's implemented features. We could have also agreed on a set of rules about code quality and style. And maybe we could have also had anonymous peer review sessions at the end of each week to give and get feedback.
In the future, we would like to translate our app into Portuguese, as it is the official language in Angola and Mozambique. We would also like to focus more on the donor journey and add a portal to allow donors to log in and review their donation history and pictures they've received over the past, as we think it would incentivize them to donate more regularly. We would also like to beta test our website in order to eventually release it to the public so people can donate to change one's life through our app.
Finally, we would like our app to support different types of volunteers with different authority levels so that Edmilson can get more people to use the app while having control of the data and members.
We would like to thank everyone who has given us feedback over the past 4 weeks. And a big special thank you to Edmilson, Guilherme, and Cassia from Change One's Life for their valuable time. To finish off our presentation, we would like to show you a clip from this week's feedback session with Edmilson.
It's a magnificent job you guys are doing here. Makes my life easier.
Great, that's the whole point.
We're glad that you liked it.
No, I don't want to rush you guys or anything or whatever, but it would be much obliged if you guys got this as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Great job. It's very good in all aspects.
Thank you for listening.